And we're live on St. Andrew's Radio Star. This is Let Me Talk. Let me talk! Sit down, nobody talk.
That's honestly, it's like the best fucking thing I've ever come up with. Let Me Talk name is goated. It actually is.
We're gonna make the intro at some point. I just hadn't had it.
You know, RNAQ, you know the Kevin De Bruyne clip?
Yeah, of course. I love it.
We want to get the Mourinho one as well, like the I prefer not to speak.
If I speak, I am in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble. Which is why I say we say we're secret agents and not anything else.
Have you seen the other clip where Pep, like, he goes in the changing room and he's like, sit down, nobody talk.
Yeah.
People have edited it, so it's like Pep's clip first and then Kevin De Bruyne saying, let me talk.
That's what we're trying to have as our intro.
Yeah.
We want to try and do that.
I want everyone to talk into their mics though, so I'm going to start. Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the co-host of I'm the host of Dispatch and the co-host of Let Me Talk. How you doing, everyone? Speak.
I'm good. You?
Good. That sounds good.
I'm doing alright. What about you?
Oh boy. I think Prince's mic is broken.
Shit. Okay, you guys might need to share.
Okay, wait, Prince, move your mic. Just start moving your mic. Just like move it up, down, keep talking.
Alright. What's what we saying?
Okay, you guys have to share a mic. How about we do the same thing as last time?
To be fair, that kind of works because I'm going to be going back and forth and asking them questions.
Okay, so yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, cool.
I mean, that kind of works. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, how are you guys? You doing good?
Good, bro. Just
lovely.
working.
Mate, I've got the worst cold right now, man. I don't know what it is about October, but it's just like every single time October hits, I just get hit with like every disease imaginable. I've just been sitting in my room like dying, honestly.
Did you have freshers flu at all?
Yeah, no, I did. But this is the thing. You know how some people like they get rid of freshers flu after like a week or something, right? I've had it since September and I can't get rid of it.
Oh no, I feel you. I've just had like a consistent cough, like pretty much the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. So apologies if I like spiral into like coughing fits or something.
Oh, are you one of those guys that gets roasted on festuries by everyone being like, "Yo, who's fucking coughing in the library? Swear to God, I'll kill you."
Nah, like when I go outside, it gets shy, but like when I'm back at home, it's like I'm always sniffing like.
Oh,
it's disgusting,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
Bro, I was in the...
Try to speak a bit closer to the mic.
Yeah, I was in this silent area of the library the other day, and I like coughed a few times, and I was so confused. I'm like, because all my stuff was on the table, I'm like, should I back up and continue coughing outside, or do I just firm it? And everyone was just looking at me. I'm like, dude, this is too stressful for me.
Wait, I see so much shit on like is it like Crush the St. Andrews or like the St. Andrews like festivals and shit, and it's just like anti-crush on people that cough in the library, and I feel like so called out by it, man. I'm like, sorry. But yeah, anyway, so we're here to talk about music and music producing. We have two people that are very familiar with those subjects.
Where we are?
Yes.
I thought this was the
My God, shut up. You were debriefed.
I thought this was the investment podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my bad. Okay.
Anyway, I was gonna ask though, what do you guys study? I don't even know.
I do econ and management, joint honors.
Oh, nice. What do you do, Prince?
I do computer science myself. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Jesus. All right. Well, I mean, I think those are two like the biggest flexes you can hit, especially at St. Andrews, because I do English literature, and Tom, I mean, you do IR, don't you?
I do joint honors IR and modern history, which means I am jobless after this. I am double jobless. I have no job.
Don't worry, me too. But yeah, no, Prince, before we went live, you were telling me about BPM. There was like an event or something, sort of Halloween themed, and I know you're a BPM DJ, so we're going to get kind of talking about that. So how did you like link up with BPM in the first place, and like how did you end up DJing? What's the story behind that?
So like you know how in like first year a lot of people.
Speak a bit closer to me.
You know, in first year, a lot of people kind of like to like go on the like Instagram or something, like saying, "Oh, hi, this is me. I do this. I study all that."
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I did that, and then one of the BPM DJs saw me, and they saw that I did music as well. They're like, "Oh, you're pretty cool. Come over to the event." So I went to it, and then after that, they made me a promoter, that kind of stuff, and I was just in the family. And then from there, I just learned how to DJ, and through them, like just doing the events and all that kind of stuff.
Wait, so you were doing music before uni then?
Yeah. So I was just like. When I was 12, me and my friends would listen to like Tiny Tempo and like try and learn how to rap.
Hard.
Yeah.
Oh, did we all?
Yeah, but nah. After that, yeah, they just saw me and they were like, "Yeah, come get involved." So pretty much from that, yeah.
So how long did it take you to like properly learn how to DJ? Is it like a very difficult thing to do, or what's the deal? Because I really want to do it. I think it sounds fun.
It depends on like how you view music, because like I like studied a lot of music, so I just knew naturally, like say certain songs have this kind of like. Say like a chorus is like so many like bars long, you know what I mean? So like you learn that throughout all the other kind of songs, and from that, yeah, it's just kind of it's easier to know. But some people think of it mathematically as well. I don't know how they do that, but they're just like thinking of it in like 4s, 8s, 12s, like that kind of shit. So it's like it depends on who you are, really.
I have a request, right? For your next time you're DJing, you need to do is it a Rockstar made into Stop Breathing transition?
You don't realize that when we were writing down the script for this show, this man's like, we're like playing a different songs, you know, like, well, as you guys know, we were talking to you about it earlier in DMs, but this man just in the middle of the Union takes out Cardi. What concert was that? It was
I think it was his Lollapalooza.
Yeah. He just takes it out in the middle of main bar, just starts blasting "Stop Breathing," and it's just Cardi on stage screaming his lungs out. I just had this girl like studying hard, like with medicine on her screen, just looking back at us, just concerned, like we'll be her next patients.
Oh no! Next time you do that, let me know. I'm trying to see that.
He was vibing hard. He was just like,
I was
stop
head
breathing,
popping in main bar, man. But yeah, I'm guessing you've done some sort of DJing before, RNAQ, because I know you're like a big music producer. You must have kind of gotten to that lane before, or would you be interested in DJing at some point?
You know what? I've never actually tried it, but I really want to try it. So, just like Prince, I'm also like a part of the BPM family, but I only properly joined this year. So
all right.
Hopefully, over the next couple months or maybe this year, I can pick up on some stuff, because it makes me really sad. A lot of the BPM people are graduating next year. So it's
shit.
like, yeah, so it's like the rest of us needs to learn how to do it.
So the next generation of BPM DJs.
Let's see.
I'm guessing you're graduating next year, aren't you, Prince?
Yeah, that's right, man.
Wait, so have you been in 5 years then? Is this your 5th year?
So yeah, this is like my master's year.
Oh, you did a
pretty
master's?
much. Yeah,
right,
so
okay.
I'm a fossil in St. Andrews, pretty much. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're pretty well known. Like everyone I talk to just knows who you are. Like I was talking to like my flatmate, and like you were saying that you guys like met just randomly at Raisin.
Yeah, I know. It's like, of course you know the phrase like small world, but like in St. Andrews, like that's like times 10. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
really is, man. Honestly.
I mean, speaking of, do you not remember me, Prince? Not just from seeing me at the Union, but do you not remember me from before?
I mean, I know we have each other on Instagram, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what the reasoning.
Prince, were you at the Jiu-Jitsu Give It a Go in September 2021?
Oh yes, I was.
Yes, we were. We were in the same group.
That's some fucking Nardwar shit right there.
You know, I'm going to admit something to you right now. When I started working at the Union, this is months after the Give It a Go. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good at remembering just people's names in general. And oh wait, I can't say it. When I was in a nondescript building doing my job because of contract issues, no one heard that. When I was at this nondescript location downstairs, I kind of walked past you and you looked what they say, faded. And I was at work and I went, and I knew you didn't remember me, right? I just walked up, I was like, "Hey Prince, how you doing?" And you just looked at me with the look of horror in your eyes, like, how does this secret agent know my name? How do you know? And you just looked so petrified by it. It made me laugh a lot. Sorry, that was just terrible of me. I just remember saying that.
Prince is not only well known just in and about the Union, he actually is like a pretty creative force within St. Andrews. Is that fair to say? Your efforts include releasing music and even modelling for Catwalk last year, which I'm doing this year. So you know, I need some tips, hopefully. But your DJing as part of BPM's got to be really interesting. I remember I was at one of the shows and you played like Stop Breathing, and just like your energy was like so much different to like all the other DJs I could see. Like you seem to like connect with like the people around you so much. Is there like a certain method or like idea that like helps you to do that?
I feel like most of it is just like, say if you play something that you don't really enjoy yourself, then it's gonna get brought across like when you're performing it or something like that. So like we like to bring a lot of like energy, because it's like, say we've got these big speakers, so we're playing songs that we want to hear loud. You know what I mean? It's not it's not necessarily just like a job or something. So like when we're playing that and we actually actively enjoy the songs, then people are gonna see that and then they're gonna be like, okay, everyone's getting excited, everyone's like feeling comfortable, welcoming, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. That's kind of vibe we try and set across.
It must be like a really good feeling, like everyone's kind of looking at you and like vibing with you, and you're like dictating like all these people's emotions. I'm sure like so many people in the crowd were like they wish you were you at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I'm just out there trying to vibe with them. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
What advice would you give people wanting to pick up DJing?
I would say a lot of people try and they overdeep the first things they mix. Like, oh, this is a bit shit. It's a bit like, can I swear on this or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been swearing since the start, lad.
yeah. But like they would pretty much like overdeep it. But like, see, like, there's even stuff that I do now that's just like complete like crap. You know what I mean? Like, but like,
We don't accept that word.
most people don't notice. It's only like more your energy and your vibe. And like when you're practicing yourself, you'll pick up stuff on your own, and you'll get your own style. So like, you just gotta keep going. Like, yeah.
Do you have, right, this is an interesting question, right? Do you have like a safety net of songs that you have if like people just aren't feeling your shit? Because I was talking to, I think, another BPM DJ, is it Rory, the blonde guy, and he was talking to me, he was saying like, if like everyone is just, like if no one's like dancing or vibing to my music, he has like a safety pack of songs that he like brings out to like save the atmosphere. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, I'd say in St Andrews as well. There's like a certain network, because not a lot of people are natively into like hip hop here. You know what I mean? So like, there's a certain network of like more poppier people, like say Drake. Like if you bust out any Drake song, it's an instant cheat code. You know? Like, yeah, so there's stuff like that. Like definitely, you can see like people just instantly like vibe with 100%.
And RNAQ, I'm sorry we haven't gotten to you yet, but I'm really interested to get talking to you about your music as well. I just a couple of questions to start. But when did you start with your music? Because Prince was saying he started a long, long time ago, and what inspired you to start making music? I know that's a very like boring question, but there you go.
I started playing the piano when I was 3 years old, and just since then, so since I started playing the piano, I had like, you know, Trinity grades. So like they teach me a song and I'd have to play it for someone and be judged. So it came to a point where I was like, I just don't enjoy this. I'd much rather make my own music, like rather than learn something someone else has made. So I'd say in 2017, I downloaded FL Studio randomly, completely legally. I paid for it. Of course I did. And so I was just messing around on it and all that stuff. It was mainly just piano stuff. Then eventually I started listening to more like Martin Garrix, etc. So just diversified my music taste, and I just wanted to make things I was listening to. Because I remember even till date, and I think even Prince might feel this, like when you start making music or like start DJing, when you hear a song, the first thing you think about is like how the song was made or what song this can transition into. You don't really enjoy the music, so you have to listen to it a few times. So I just felt like producing everything I'm listening to. So I'm like, I'd hear one song and I'm like, I want to recreate that. I want to know how it was made. So it was just stuff like that, and then eventually I said, you know what, I might as well put my work out. So
so you basically have a different approach to listening to music than other people. Do you think? Like it's just something instinctive?
Yeah, it's like, because I'll listen to a song. Let's say I'm listening to like a new Drake song came out and I'm listening to it. My first instinct isn't like vibing to the music; it's listening to the instrumental and saying, this sound is probably from this preset in this fucking plug-in or something. So it's just like I just hyper-analyze everything. That's just the way I do it.
Who do you think has been the biggest influence on your music? It could be an artist, it could be like just someone non-famous, or what do you think?
Oh, okay, so he's one of my friends from back home, and
where is back home for you?
New Delhi.
New Delhi.
India. Yeah, so his name's Teg. He makes music as well. He goes by TSK, so he sort of gave me the bare bones that I needed to go into EDM, like electronic music. So the switch from more classical stuff to more like producing. And I mean, without him, there wouldn't be RNAQ. So of course I have to give him my props.
So is it RNAQ or is it RNAQ? How do you prefer?
So my name is RNAQ, spelled RAUNAQ.
Right.
But my producer name is RNAQ, and the story behind it is really funny.
Go on.
So I was in the orchestra, and I was playing like brass instruments and stuff, but like the conductor for the orchestra, he was English, so he couldn't pronounce my name correctly. So he'd always call me RNAQ, because that's how. So from that, I'm like, he just removed the A and U, so I made that my producer name. So that's just how it. That's how.
So you said you were working on like EDM stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is lo-fi, like, I'm guessing you're gonna have to kind of explain to me what lo-fi is. Is it part of like EDM, or is it like a completely different genre altogether?
I'd say it's like a completely different genre, because...
So why lo-fi then? What made how did you make the transition?
See, I wouldn't say I necessarily made a transition. In terms of what I was releasing, yeah. But like...
Speak a little bit closer into the mic.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, it's alright.
So it was like, I just went from like... I still create almost every kind of music. Like, if I was to open my laptop right now, you'd see like so many files of EDM music, hip-hop, lo-fi, everything. It's just... I stuck to releasing lo-fi because at the start... that's what I was feeling. So when I released it, I sort of developed like a fan base for that music. So it's like I don't want to experiment too much on my main like Spotify profile, but I create almost everything. So cool story is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but my next song is going to be slightly EDM-ish.
Shit.
I'm going back there.
Breaking news.
I'm going back
Breaking
to
news.
the roots, so it's interesting.
Yeah. When's the album dropping though? When's the album?
Album, bro, there's a lot of stuff in the works right now, but I was hoping December, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. So I think it might be
Just setbacks and stuff. Yeah.
it might be next year. I can't lie. It'll be a few singles this year, and then maybe next summer, finally a project.
Callum does have a question to ask you though about the album.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Are you looking for ad libs?
Yeah, we've prepared. I've just wrote in the script like the last 2 minutes. I don't know if you read it. So Callum's gonna do some ad libs for you to try and try it out.
Bro, shut up.
Yes, yeah. I need this.
No, none of that. But no, talking about albums, Prince. I was stalking your Spotify, and on March 13th, correct me if I'm wrong, 2020, you released
believe, yeah.
Unserious Candidate.
Yes.
Your debut album, am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I had some stuff on Spotify, but this is like first one I wanted to release on like. I mean, I had some stuff on SoundCloud, sorry, but this is like the first one I wanted to release on like Spotify and stuff like that. Yeah.
What do you mean by Unserious Candidate? What does that mean to you?
I mean, that was probably like when I was second year going into third year. And like in like your first 2 years of like, especially like in Scotland, it's just like,
Gillian, just look a little bit into the mic.
and like the first 2 years is kind of
Perfect.
like a muck around type thing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I was just like, I'm a bit unserious in the studies, you know what I mean? So I'm an unserious candidate.
Right.
So I just relayed that across like us to the album name, you know what I mean?
Right, I thought it was more something like, I guess like you're underrated or something, or like you kind of slept on. I thought it was like that.
I mean, you
Like,
know,
no.
like you could, it's up to interpretation, but like, that's the meaning I had behind it. Yeah.
Like we were talking about before, you're a big fan of 21 Savage. You're excited for the Drake and 21 collab.
Yeah. That's gonna stop.
I feel like it's clear in your music that you also take inspiration on his rapping style on songs like "Got It From Me" and "After Party." I think my personal favorite. I was vibing to that. It's good fun. I had it in my head like all day as well.
Yeah.
But why do you gravitate to his style of music?
I would say like kind of like because he's got kind of like I guess a deeper kind of voice, and like say if I had like maybe a higher voice, I would lean more into like the singing kind of avenue. But since I don't, I like to emulate that more like grungier sound. You know what I mean? Like, and 21 Savage, he's quite, I guess, a little monotone in his ways, and you just have to listen to like the bars he's saying. Because like the bars, like that's where you get the gold from, 21 Savage, and I kind of like that, yeah.
Do you have a favorite line that you've ever said? Do you have a favorite bar?
That I've ever said.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd say like I'd say I'm gonna take a flight out to Tennessee, stand above the alphabet. Yeah, I'm overseas, so it's like
Oh shit.
you know, I was like that's like a. I wrote that when I was like maybe 17, 18, but I was like,
Really?
I always come back to that bar because I'm like, yeah, it's kind of fire.
Do you have like tons of shit in the vault?
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of stuff that like I have that I kind of like say I tweak them a bit because it's like I don't want to lose the concept of that song, but I just say maybe I'm not liking the way that song sounds, but it sounds better on like say some other instrumental or something like that. Yeah. So I just kind of I vary it depending on that. And yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to go for.
I do have one question for Prince though. For me, so the last 2 weeks, I've had the honor to join the improv comedy group Blind Mirth. And I find that even though it's improv comedy, when I'm out in the streets and stuff, I might hear something and I'm like, this is actually really funny for a joke. And it's not stand-up, so I don't write it down, but I might remember it. And then when it comes to a show, I might hear something that like, it will fit like the scene, and I'll bring it up. Do you ever hear that, either of you, in your music, or maybe for me more of a theme if you're producing, or yourself, if you hear something someone says that you think, you know what, I could add that to my craft?
I mean, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, most of the music I make is just like based on stuff I'm going through, but I kind of understand that because I had this phase where like my voice memos was just filled with me like singing random things, and most of it was like I'd be at like Morrison's and I'd hear some like tune or something, or something would just inspire me and I just like quickly record it on my phone. So I kind of get that, but I think for me it's more like just what's going on in my life like emotionally, and then I just like putting that into my music. But I kind of understand that.
No, I get that.
I mean, talking about your music, we have a song that we're gonna play, and it's by you, RNAQ.
Yeah.
RNAQ. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And it's called Safe Place. I'm sure you're very familiar with it.
Yeah.
Just before we play it, do you want to tell us a bit more about the song and also about the artist it features as well?
Of course, yeah. So the way we came about making this song was the other artist, Dark Forest Drives. I reached out to him and I'm like, I don't know if you're familiar with Shiloh Dynasty. They were an artist that sort of released just the snippets on Instagram, and XXXTentacion picked them up and like they really blew up after that. So he did stuff similar to that. So I texted him saying, I really like your stuff. Can you like just send me a few samples and stuff? So then he sent me the sample for Safe Place, and then we started talking about the song, and he mentioned to me how like he wants to be that quote unquote safe place for someone, like for a significant other. He wants to be there like through thick and thin. So then I did what I could to manipulate the song here and there, and we both made that. Funny story is, I think this song was probably the fastest song I've made. I think we finished it in like 5 hours. He sent me the sample. We were just back and forth talking, and just finished it as quickly as I could and sent it back. And he's like, "Yeah, let's go."
Did you call him, or was this like over?
No, it was
over
all
text?
over text.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
crazy.
That's really impressive. Right, well, this is RNAQ and Dark Forest Drive, Safe Place. See you after the break, guys.
Well, that's a fairly short song, but that was Safe Place. And yeah, I really like that song, I can't lie.
It's a banger.
It is.
Thank you.
Like, do you have a favourite song you've made?
Oh, for me,
That's out, right? Because you could say like shit you haven't released, but like that's out.
no, but see, I'm stuck between two, because one has to be Wasted, because that was the first song I released, and like the people around me started taking like my music thing seriously, like all my friends and like people in my school. The moment that song released, they're like, you know what, he might be onto something.
Really? Was it sort of like a, oh, you'll never make it, or this is like some
bro,
silly?
all the time, man. Like there was like, I never really let that get to me though, because like I was just so hell bent on knowing. Like I knew, like I had a vision. I'm like, I know in a year I'll be here, so I don't need to listen to what people are talking about where I'm right now, because I know the amount of work I'm putting in. So that's just the way I went about it. But it's either Wasted or I'll Be Fine. And I'll Be Fine, the reason is because it's like my first proper song I made with like another. So we were on like calls. So we were on FaceTime at like 3-4 in the morning. And it wasn't just about the song. Like we'd talk about shit going on in our lives.
Yeah.
And, like really like deep like shit. And then from that we derive lyrics for the song. So I'd say that was definitely one of my favorite songs to work on.
That's like the essence of music, isn't it? It all has to come from somewhere. I mean, I was about to get onto like it's so interesting how you're talking about like sometimes you make music like really quickly and sometimes it takes months, because that's like how I make like my paintings. Like sometimes, bro, I can like get one out in a day. I was telling Prince about this at the exhibition, but like sometimes you can get one out in like a night and just go ham, but then other times it never works. Like there's been times where I've been like ripping the canvas, like just not getting it right, you know?
Yeah, that's just how it is with art though. Anything creative, you either love it at the first time or you hate it, but you love the idea and you keep working on it, refining it. It's just how it is.
It's interesting that you picked two songs called Wasted and I'll Be Fine. Names of Juice WRLD songs, right?
Exactly, yes. Juice WRLD.
I know you're a very, very big fan of Juice WRLD, right?
Juice WRLD
so you're going to need to talk about that for a little bit and kind of explain what his music means to you.
It's just like the place I was mentally at the time, and I just coincidentally found Juice WRLD's music, and like everything he was saying, it was like, dude, I'm experiencing that. Like that's just something that I'm going through, and it was just someone I could relate to or something I could listen to when I was sort of mentally down. And musically, I'd say a lot of the content in my music is quite similar to Juice WRLD in terms of like the things he speaks about. And of course a lot of inspiration from it, especially Wasted. Like the actual song, the beat that I made around, like the beat we made on the call, we were like, I was sort of like going for that Juice WRLD vibe.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I want, but then of course it went a little further away from it, but initially that's what I really wanted. Like a song similar to like something Juice WRLD would make.
That's crazy. I know a lot of your music, at least the music you have released, is of like a slower kind of like lo-fi kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Have you got any like any other shit in the vault that you're ready to show
I have
people?
so much hip hop stuff, like
Oh man,
so much. And like I used to have it on my Spotify back in the day, but then I just took it off.
Oh, did you?
Because it just didn't match everything else.
Yeah.
I feel like even though I'm not like too bothered about what I release. I'm still also like very, like I have like OCD when it comes to my discography. I want everything to be sort of matching or like sort of similar theme, and then slowly change to a different genre. But I don't want like suddenly a hip hop song out. So I have like plenty of hip hop music, plenty of EDM, just all sitting on my laptop.
This is a question for both of you, but like, where do you want to take this music journey, or where do you see this music kind of journey taking you?
I mean, I would say, just to touch on a point you said earlier about like what people saying that once you release that song, then people start seeing it seriously.
Yeah.
Because like people always say that thing like, oh, this industry is hard to do. But like, if you've ever done any internship like training or like preparation, that shit's hard as well. You know what I mean? Like everything is difficult. So I'd say like with the music, like just get to like ideally just like a place where you can just like live comfortably, enjoy your music, like just live creatively as well. I'd say that'd be quite nice to do. Just work with other people, collaborate. I'd say that's a big thing that I want to work on.
Yeah, talking about like collaborations, obviously because you're more of a producer, right? And you're more of a rapper, right? So you Prince, you're kind of, in terms of collaboration, you're looking for like the right kind of producer or the right kind of engineer, if I've got that term right. And RNAQ, you're looking for like the right sort of vocals for it to fit your song. How do you go about finding the right collaborators?
I mean, go ahead.
I mean, me personally, I remember when I was starting out, I'd be sending like 40, 50 messages a day. I'd just go on like...
Oh, really?
Oh, I'd go on Instagram and I'd find hashtags, like I'd find hashtag lo-fi or something, and I'd just look at the artists who are posting. I'd go like the top liked ones, the ones that are barely like really underground stuff. This is when I didn't even have any music out. I'd send them messages every day like, yo, shit, I really like your voice. Can we work on something? Most won't reply, but then one or two would, and then connections are built, and that's how I do it. Now it's sort of the other way around. I don't have to reach out as much as so people reach out to me. They send me their vocal samples, etc. And that's just how I listen to everything I get sent, and occasionally I will text like, you know, that one artist I want to work with.
Oh yeah.
But I'd say it's not necessarily to do with the person's talent. It's the person itself. I've worked with artists and like I just liked the person they were so much because they were so like genuine, and that's why I wanted to work with them, not necessarily because they had X amount of followers or because their voice was this good. It's more like I look at it very emotionally rather than like strategically.
Yeah.
My music. So like you said, you had asked, what do I see this music thing becoming? So a lot of people ask me why I don't study music or pursue it like 100%, and I tell everyone the same thing. It's like, I taught myself everything I know in music so far, and the entire reason I made my own music is because I hated being told what to do. So I'm like, if I was to go and study music, I'm going back to exactly what I didn't like. Plus, I can always have a degree, like my econ and management degree, like at the same time as music.
It's good to have different fields, man. Have different.
Just balancing it is so worth it.
Of course. Yeah. What about you, Prince? What's your kind of stance on like collaborators and stuff? How does that work for you?
I mean, I'd say like pretty much very similar to RNAQ there as well. Like you have to fuck with the person, because say you don't, and like say they could be talented, but like you'd hate the song, and like I've made some songs that like I liked at the time, but I knew I was half-assing, and like if I did the same thing like with like a collaborator, it'd be like kind of stickier to like remove the song, because like, oh, you're not fully into it, so like it just gets kind of awkward there. But I'd say if you fully fuck with the person, no matter what you make, it's always going to be a banger, because like...
So it's kind of about like the relationship that you have with the people then.
Yeah, because I feel like when I'm collaborating with someone, I would inherently just like the songs that they make, because like it's piqued my interest enough to be like, yeah, you're definitely, you've got something that I want to have in my songs, because I don't have it, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So like if they have a different essence to me as well, and then they're just like a great person, it's like it's going to be a beautiful song regardless. Yeah. You
said you were in 5th year, so I guess that means you're going to be leaving the town next year.
Yeah.
I guess, what are the next steps for you, and how are you going to kind of not cope, but like, I guess it's going to be a very different leaving this like creative hub that you've been a part of for so long with BPM and the Catwalk, and I guess you've been making music with artists in and around St Andrews as well. But like, how's that going to change for you? do you think?
I mean, depending on where I go, it's all about the networking as well, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I'd say a big hub for the UK is definitely, like, London. And
Oh,
a lot of people that go to St Andrews just inherently find themselves in London if they stay in the UK. So if I was to find myself in London, there's a lot of places to, like, say, perhaps, like, perform. Because I'd say performing's a big thing, especially when you're, like, a rapper. Because it's, like, there's something about connecting with a crowd, like,
Yeah.
just...
I mean, you've already got that with DJing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm guessing you won't be getting like stage fright or anything anytime soon. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'd say I just it excites me more than it like upsets me or anything. Because people definitely do ask like, how do you not get like this? But it's like on stage, I'm like, I feel like I'm someone else. Like I'm performing as someone. So like, say like any anxiety about.
Oh, it's like a character. Do you mean?
Yeah. So yeah, I just go into that zone.
Is that how you feel as well?
Yeah.
100%, bro. Like I feel like RNAQ and RNAQ are two different people. It's insane, bro. Like I relate to that so much and they're two completely different alter egos.
Mhm.
So it's like just switching between them in different aspects of my life. That's just the way I go about it.
That's crazy interesting. Like, I've never really thought about that before, but like, you probably have to get yourself into like almost like a different zone, like become someone else. To
I can see it from theatre. Having done theatre, not just improv, but just like theatre in general. I'm not a method actor, but when I do a play or do a musical, you essentially do become the character on stage because there's no way you can actually do your craft without embodying that different persona. Do you guys agree with it?
No, and also it's just a smarter thing to do because like if let's say my music is catered to, it's more emotional music, sadder music. If I portray that same image, it's also helping my quote unquote brand, right?
Yeah.
Like if I was to let's say release really sad music and then portray myself as like the happiest person ever, it would also just not sort of fit each other.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you need to also then promote like like in a weird way, like how rappers promote their lifestyle, you know, the chains and all that stuff. It's a similar thing with me and my music. So it's like I would feel a certain way, but I'd also have to keep a certain.
You've got to fit the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's up?
Oh shit! Right, okay. Yeah. So Prince, it's time to play your song.
However, can you tell us, first off, disclaimer, I don't know why, it seems like I'm praying to every deity that there is no corruption on the file because my computer's something weird.
I mean, worst comes to worst, we're gonna play Stop Breathing. So.
Oh no! Hey, Prince wants to send Who You Fooling. So.
Oh, who you feeling? Yeah.
So, but hoping that doesn't happen. Can you tell us about the song, to the background behind the song, a bit of T-Kid, just a bit of everything.
Yeah, I would say the song. So one of my friends that comes to uni here, he has a little brother who's like maybe 17, 16, and he's like really good at producing. So he sent this beat to me, and I was like, all right, let me see what I can do with it. And usually when I'm doing songs, it's like, say there's some parts that you want to like have inherently as people will latch onto that bit, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, make this more of like a cockier song because it was like kind of a hip hop cocky kind of beat. And then my friend T-Kid came on, and I know this guy just always kills it on the verses. So I was like, yeah, let me get him on this song as well. And it just was a beautiful marriage between the three of us, that kind of thing. Yeah.
All right, well, we're not going to play Got It From Me from A.K.A. Prince. Is it A.K.A. or also known as? How do you prefer it?
Well, it does mean also known as,
Yeah.
but I just say A.K.A.
Okay.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Prince featuring T-Kid, Got It From Me. See you guys after the break. Welcome to the off-air football debate, where the Arsenal fans have decided to chat shit because they're doing well for once. We're back on air. This show is no longer about music; it's about shit-slinging our football teams.
I was talking to Prince before the show actually about Halloween, and like I feel like I think it's my favorite holiday. There's just something about Halloween that like really appeals to me. But I was saying that like finding the right costume is like an art. Like, so you know how when, like I was saying to Prince, like, you know how when you go into like a party or something, you've got your whole costume on, and then like literally 20 minutes in, and you've taken like half your costume off because it's so fucking warm. Do you know what I mean? Like, that shit is so fucking annoying. Like, I remember I went as like, everyone goes as like Scream, right? I remember I went to Scream one time, and obviously it's pretty much just the mask that like, you know, like Scream from. And I got so warm that I took the mask off, and then everyone was just fucking asking me, like, bro, who are you? Who are you? It's like so fucking annoying, like, honestly. But yeah, have you guys got your costumes ready for Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, so like on Monday I went as the Mask, and I was, just as you said with the kind of Scream thing, like the mask from the Jim Carrey movie is like the most important part. So I didn't want to do like a physical mask because I knew it'd be like I would be sweating in this thing. So I went as the face painted version because I was like, yeah, if the face paint falls off, like it is what it is. But like it stayed on during the night. But I was like, yeah,
That was at BPM, right?
yeah, that was at the BPM event. Yeah.
Were you there or not?
Unfortunately, no, bro. I had like meetings and shit till like 3:30, so I missed. It was Diwali night, so I wanted to go for the Hollywood night.
Yeah.
Was it not the Hollywood? The Bollywood night,
Bollywood. Yeah.
I really wanted to go for that as well, but I had like shit I couldn't move around. So
That's annoying.
yeah.
What? So you're saying you're part of BPM, right? But you're not a DJ, are you?
No.
So what's your role within BPM?
Right now, I mean, I classify myself as a promoter because that's basically, and I'm also part of the creative team. But I wouldn't say I'm much of an active member. I'm more just there, like, occasionally whenever we have like we have these thing every couple of weeks. Prince, Ian, Amir.
Ian, mate.
Who else comes? I forgot.
I mean, there's Matthew as well.
Matthew comes as well, and we just meet up, and you have me sitting on the laptop. I'm producing something, and all of these guys are writing. So we have like sessions where like we just make a song just randomly, and every time we try to do something weird. So I remember last time, I got this really like orchestral sample. And I just flipped it to like the most club Tory Lanez kind of thing, and then these guys went off on it, and it sounded really good. So hopefully sometime down the line we actually finish one of those, and maybe it comes out. Maybe.
See, BPM's an event I've never gone to for the simple reason
I've
that
been.
well, you know why I've not gone to these events. Well, you'll realize why.
You just hate crowds, don't you?
So I'm claustrophobic as fuck in crowds, which ironic given what I work as. I know. So I've never actually gone because like you would see me like in a booth, like I'd be I'd be vibing to the music. I'd be saying that like, this is awesome. I love the music. Fuck going into a crowd,
bro.
I already hate it when I work, but when I'm not working, you have to pay me to get in there.
Dude, trust me, BPM because the energy and the type of music it is. There's so many like mosh pits, people getting pushed around. So you.
The Vic is such a sweaty place.
Yeah, I went there during a club night. Like I've been invited to go to Sahra, especially because like I know like some people like because obviously like Middle Eastern connections. But it's like one of those things like I really want to go, but like. If I stood at the table with you guys like DJing, like, I'd be safe. I'd be like, this is awesome. This is loving it. No crowd next to me.
Yeah.
I'm just next to the music. Awesome. But I'm just not going there because I just don't want to be like pushed around. But I really do want to go at some point. So Cam can protect me, and then we'll go.
Don't worry, man. I'll go
set
back.
up a little VIP area.
Just my own little box. Just sitting around. Just
So I was gonna ask another question about like album artwork, right? Because I feel like there's something different about album artwork to like I don't know like movies and I guess like theatre productions, and the fact that like I feel like the album artwork is like part of the music.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very important as well. Whereas like you can get tons of different movie posters, but like there's something about iconic album covers or like just artwork on singles and albums that's like that kind of deems it part of the music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like how do you guys go about like picking your album artwork?
I mean, I'd say for me, the kind of lane of music that I'm into is quite like psychedelic kind of stuff. So I'd say from the album covers that I've seen of them, it's like, say like your Tame Impalas, your Kid Cudis, your like Kanye Wests, Travis Scotts, all that kind of stuff. And they usually have album covers that like, because sometimes people don't listen to a whole album. So like, say if you hear the intro and you see that the vibe of the intro matches the album and the cover, then you're like, it all makes sense. So I try and like make it kind of weird, more like just abstract type of way, because like that's how I view listening to music. I view it more as like just listening to all the sounds at once, even the vocals are like sounds as well. And like if that all matches the vibe of the cover for me, then I'm like, it's all good. You know?
What about you? Is it like, do you find it an important part of your music?
Yeah, so most of my artwork is either like it's like a scenic background or something with just text. So the way I select those photos is like either I'll ask people to send me stuff like I imagine where I would be listening to that song. So for example, songs like there's a song I have, maybe I should just disappear, and I remember I took a photo. I think that photo is one of my friends who had taken it and sent it to me, and I remember the moment I looked at that photo, I'm like, I can imagine myself seeing this while listening to this song, so I have to use it. But
Right.
one of my most recent songs, it was very interesting how the artwork came about. So it's called Scared of Love.
I was about to say, I was going to
Scared
ask,
of
what
Love.
the fuck? I'm trying to figure out what this is.
Oh, I'll tell you. So
Go
it's
on.
a photo of, it's a photo. I'm not going to go
It's
into...
a photo?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into what the photo is. And then I put it in like this AI
That's a
generator.
penis.
Nah. It's, there... He's trying to figure it out. Nah, so I put that in like one of those
Are
AI
those
generated...
titties? They look like titties.
Nah,
man. It's a cool picture though.
It's a photo of me and someone else, and like I put it on this like AI generator thing, and it sort of it just messed it up
right.
fully. And I did a few takes, and that was like the coolest one. So I was like, dude, I have to use this.
Do you guys have a favorite album cover? Like any kind of music, but like, do you have a favorite album cover? Is there one that pops into mind?
Oh, Baby Keem's, the one where he's sitting. What's the album called? Yeah, Melodic
Yeah,
Blue.
yeah, yeah.
That album cover
looking at that
is
right now.
different.
It was crazy
It's
good.
different.
Yeah. It's like,
That's
see,
me on the pier at Raisin. Like, after my parents leave me, I'm just like, damn, this is. Actually, Prince, comparing your album, well, your single cover for Rough to Got It From Me, there's like clearly like. Can you talk us through that? Because Rough, like, as I'm looking at it now, it's like more of like a drawing, which I'm guessing is that you at the front,
Yeah.
and then Got It From Me is a picture of yourself with the light bulb.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us like this is 3 years ago then with Rough compared to this year? What you were going about, like, what was your thinking going about getting the album covers for each?
So I'd say like back then I wanted because it was like my kind of first song on like Spotify, so I wanted it to be more like, I'd say albums that came out at the time were like Kids See Ghosts, that kind of stuff. So I was really into like the kind of, because it's a drawing, so it was into like the cartoony kind of aesthetic, more of it. But then as it came along, I realized that like a lot of album covers feature like either like the artist or like the artist like brand or something like to do with that. So I was like, I guess I'll try and incorporate myself a bit more, but make it more like a bit more interesting, like say add some interesting like little features to it, like maybe take out the background of it, make it just like something simplistic, like the light bulb thing. So it's like, oh, they got it from me, it's like an idea in my head, something like that, you know what I mean?
Oh,
that
right,
kind
okay.
of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like indicative of like maybe the main themes of the song, that kind of vibe I try and set across like nowadays, rather than like back then it was just more like a drawing, more like just something that I thought was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was looking at right, so I'm like obsessed with album covers, right? I've got like tons of album covers on my wall and stuff. I've got like
You put on your Be Real this morning.
yeah. I've got so much. Like, I remember being like, posters are so fucking expensive, and I can paint, so why don't I just make posters myself, right? That was like, I had this like light bulb idea like 2 years ago, and I just haven't stopped ever since. And like my whole wall was just filled with like tons of artwork. And I was looking at Dilet's album artwork recently, and I don't know why, but I just get such a BPM vibe from that.
Yeah.
That-
Can't lie,
do you know what I mean?
That's true,
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I think there's been like some promo that's like been based on the Dilet, like the kind of
The
black
video.
and white. Yeah, it's just because it's just a perfect.
I had a feeling,
It's a perfect moshing vibe.
It is.
Yeah.
And dude, at BPM when Playboy Cardi comes on, dude,
Oh,
it's
crazy.
it's something different, bro. You just see, like, genuinely, you know, like, I don't know if you guys have seen this clip. There was a really big festival, and there was an artist just before Cardi, and there was a lot of like girls in the thing, and then they're like, Cardi's coming on in 2 minutes, and all the girls are trying to run out. I shit you not, that happens at BPM, because you'd hear like a Cardi song, and then you'd see like a couple of boys making a circle. You see the girls like, I need to get away from this. I know what's about to happen.
Have you seen the clip from what's it called? What's the Kenny Beats was doing it. Fuck, I'm about to ask a question. I just didn't realize what it was. A Boiler Room with Kenny Beats, not the one from this summer, but from last year, where he mixes. He has two songs. He puts in a Cardi one, kind of. It's Beef, but with if.
Oh yes, I've seen this one. Yeah, I've seen.
Bro,
this.
the crowd goes insane. This one girl just like shits herself. It's in like it.
It's a crazy mix. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree with you. Yeah.
It's so good. I'll definitely check it out. That was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was speaking to Callum one time about it. It was like he came in because we were mentioning like Stop Breathing, like when it played at BPM. He said it was like kind of like some stuff you would see in your room, but like it's out in public. You know what I mean? You normally jam to yourself about that.
Yeah.
But now you're like doing it with a bunch of people, and it's just that vibe is nice as well.
there's something like, I don't know what it is about Playboi Carti, but like the fact that he hasn't, I'm not going to say he's not mainstream, right, but not everyone knows about him. Like if I, and
Your
I
dad's
think,
not gonna know. Yeah.
exactly right, and he's not got like the coverage of like a Drake or something. So there's something so nice when like a Carti song comes on and you look around and there's people that are like on the same wavelength and kind of know what's going on and they know the song like off by heart. Do you know what I mean? There's something about that that's just like so magical, I think. But yeah, we need to keep talking about Carti though, right, for a second, because I was gonna talk about Dial It more. I think it might be my favourite album. I feel like that's a bold statement to
Album
make, but
or
it
cover?
Both.
You know the cover was taken to BPM, right? That's actually Prince jumping into the crowd after a set.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Killed like 3 people. Like just jumped, just landed on 3 people, broke their necks. Like
That's why it's called Dial It, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, the police came in, they were like, "Who did?" Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
I really like. I feel like there's something about Long Time that always reminds me about like your music.
Yeah.
Because it's. I've heard people talk about Long Time and being like, you can listen to it at the happiest moment of your life and also at the lowest point.
Yeah.
And there's something like, there's like a lo-fi element in there that reminds me a lot of your music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of get that, because like, of course, there's all those memes where it's like,
The Spider-Man one. Yeah.
It's the same song, and it's like you see the Spider-Man clip where he's like really depressed, and you also see someone like jumping around,
Yeah.
going crazy. So I guess I mean, there are certain songs of mine where you can like listen to them and of course have 2 different interpretations. Like I feel like someone said this to me and it was quite cool. It's like when you listen to my music, you can not pay attention to the lyrics and just listen to the production, and you could be like happy or sort of in a trance state. But then if you're going through something and you listen to the lyrics, then you can start feeling sad, or how I was feeling at that time while making that song. And I thought that was a pretty cool take on it, because when you're making, it's different when I make my own music and I listen to it back. Like, I really dislike listening to my own music unless I'm working on it. Because, dude, like, imagine, if I'm working on a song, I'm going to listen to it, like, 300,000 times on loop, and particular parts of it while editing it. So, like, I just can't listen to it again. Bro. I don't want to listen. I'm sick of it.
Is there some songs that you've ended up, like, disliking more over time? That you've put out? Is there one song that just kind of annoys you now? Something like that? Because I know a lot of artists talk about that.
Oh, see, I don't know, because I had a few and I just took them off my Spotify, so I didn't really.
Oh, we want to see growth,
dude. Trust me, there were some. I wouldn't say they were bad songs, because if I was to release them now, I'd still say they'd get like up like 500,000+ streams. But it's like I didn't personally relate to them anymore, so I was like, I don't know, because. Like there was definitely like the hip hop stuff, which of course back then I was significantly smaller, so I didn't have the same sort of reach. But I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't say anything in my current discography I'm like I don't like, but yeah.
Is there some songs? This is a question for both of you, but is there some songs that you kind of get maybe frustrated that they don't have the same kind of recognition as other songs? Like I've got a really good quote from one of my favorite artists, Saba. And he said in one of his songs, the best song wasn't on the demo, but that wasn't the one that got you the limo. It's like the best songs aren't as appreciated as other ones. Does that kind of frustrate you sometimes?
I'd say for me, like the songs that get the most recognition are the ones that you just don't put as much effort into, and then the ones that you're like striving to, like you're working so hard on, like every single crevice of it, just like nothing happens to, and you just. It's just based on the audience. I don't know. It's not you. You have nothing.
Bro, me personally, I have a song, and I'm just gonna say it. There's a song I have on my Spotify. It's called Day One, and that was probably the most creative song I've made, because I have a Punjabi rapper on it, and then there's a beat switch in between, and it completely switches the vibe. And like, but the content, like the lyrical content, is the same for both. So it's like both are talking about relatively sad stuff, but. It feels like it's 2 different songs, and like
what song is this?
Day One.
Day One. Okay, yeah.
You've heard it here, folks. Day One is the song you need to listen to.
Transition is crazy. I mean, the amount of work I put into that song was crazy, and then it came out, and this was still really early on in me releasing music, but like, dude, it was like it was received so badly. Like everyone who listened to it really liked it, but there wasn't like a lot of the you know, like the growth that happens
Yeah.
over time. Like it sort of just died down, and then the next song blew up, and I'm like, why couldn't this one blow up?
Well,
man?
I'm definitely gonna listen to that when I get back.
Dude, trust me, it's really, really good.
We've got people looking at us.
Yeah.
It's
Both
been
people.
great
My
to
man
talk to both
stared
of
at
you.
me in a green cap.
We're getting the death stares. We're getting the death stares.
But no, you guys have been quality guests. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Where can people find you? Where can people find you?
Yeah, put your plugs in.
You can just search RNAQ, literally any platform. I will come up, yeah.
Okay, Spotify, Instagram, everywhere. Tinder.
Go on, Prince. Plug
Same
yourself.
with me, A.K.A. Prince, A.K.A. Prince. Find me everywhere as well. Yeah.
And what's your university email? No, okay.
Right, this has been Let Me Talk.
Wait,
Thank you so
what are we
much.
finishing on? You pick. Who You Fooling by Gunna or Stop Breathing by Cardi?
Yeah, it's gotta be Stop Breathing.
Stop
no?
Breathing.
Stop
Has to
Breathing. Come on, play us out, Cam. Play us out.
What?
Do the
This
outro.
has been Let Me Talk. Thank you and good night.
Have a good night, guys. See ya.